The next thing that happens in the Smurl family case is going to shock you. As you guys know, if you've been watching my videos on the Smurl family case, things are amplifying and getting worse and worse and worse. On a random night, Janet and Jack are laying in bed cuddling, and Janet is yanked out of her bed by an invisible force. And this is one of the things in the paranormal that cannot be explained. Nobody can explain this. It has happened to me. I grew up in a haunted house and I was dragged across the floor. And forever I know that the paranormal is real. You can try to explain leaky pipes. You can try to explain a weird smell. You can even try to explain seeing a demon as like a hallucination. You can't explain being dragged. And this happens to Janet. She's dragged out of the bed. She was screaming. And in that moment, Jack tried to grab her, but he couldn't, and he was paralyzed. Maybe by the entity or maybe by fear. But that's when the knocking started. Whatever had a hold of Janet let go. And she climbed back into the bed with Jack. And he began to be able to move again as the banging got louder and louder and louder. The foul odor that we talked about before in one of the last videos is back. And this time it smelled so bad. I don't know if the demon is like farting or what, because sometimes it smells and sometimes it doesn't. But the odor is so bad that they're gagging and they can't breathe and they have to get out of the house. Even when they were outside the house, the knocking continued. And when the knocking stopped, they just went back to their normal lives. They didn't have a choice but to live in this house. They didn't have anywhere else to go. Up till this point, the family kind of kept hoping that when there were lulls, the spirit or entities would go away. At this moment, they realized that that was not going to happen. It was as if the entity was pausing and saving up energy so that it could do more scarier things to the family. And as a ghost hunter myself, I do have experience in this, and it's true. Spirits or entities, somehow they're getting energy from people, places, things, and they do have to allocate that energy just like a human does. So sometimes when we're doing paranormal investigations, we stop getting answers to questions and we have to take a break, and then the entity will start responding again later because it has to build that energy back up. So it is possible that the entity was saving up its energy to do crazy things like levitate Jack off of his bed or drag Janet across the floor. Janet starts to get depressed, as probably anyone would, because you do not feel safe in your own home. You are worried about your children all the time. You're worried about yourself, etc. She starts spending a lot of time watching TV, and she calls the electricity company and she's trying to argue with them on why their lights keep flickering, and the electric company sends people out and says there's nothing wrong. Like, there's no reason your light should be flickering right now. Then she writes to channel 16. She gets no response. It really feels like Janet's the only one that's trying to get them help. Then while Jack was sleeping, his St. Jude necklace was removed from his neck, and the next day Janet was freaking out. She's just running around the house screaming, "Leave my house, leave us alone, leave us be." And she's basically screaming at nothing because you can't see it. Then there was the weird incidents with the dogs. This is getting too long. Go to part 7.